The one who sells food doesn't do so because he's hungry, and the one who buys food doesn't do so because he cannot cook. You're welcome to section 5 of chapter 22 of the Holy Quran. Chapter 22 being the surah devoted to the Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca or to Makkah, if you like. Let's go. لكل أمم جعلنا جعلنا منسكا ليذكروا اسم الله لكل أمم جعلنا منسكا ليذكروا اسم الله. To every people did we appoint rites, maskat, rites, mansakan, rites, mansakan, that they might celebrate the name of God. Liyaskuru ismallahi alama razaka aman alama razakahum name over Allah over the sustenance we give them. Alama razakahum over the sustenance we give them from animals. Min bahimatin from animals. Min bahimatin an'am. Oh, let me take it short. Please pardon me. لكل أمم جعلنا منسكا ليذكروا اسم الله. Very good, we've done that. To every people did we appoint rites, into brackets, rites of sacrifice. I didn't mention that. Rites of sacrifice. Of sacrifice is in brackets. ليذكروا اسم الله على ما رزقناهم. That they might celebrate the right of God over the sustenance he gave them. Allah ma razaka ala ma razakahum ala ma razakahum min bahimatin an'am. In bahimatin an'am. From animals, into brackets, min bahimatin an'am, from animals, into brackets, fit for food. Not all animals. Animals fit for food. فإلهكم إله واحد. فإلهكم إله واحد. إلهكم إله واحد. But your God, Ilahukum, is one God. Ilahun wahidan. Wahidun. Ilahun wahidun, sorry. Ilahukum, Ilahum wahidun. Falahum aslimu. Falahum aslimu. Aw yashru yashru bihina. It's one God. Submit then your wills to him. In Islam, into brackets, in Islam, submit then your wills to him, into brackets, in Islam. Falahu Islamu falahum aslamun. Falahum aslamun. Mm. That's us. Falahum aslamun. Submit them. Submit then your wills to him. Mm. So Islam is submitting oneself to the will of God. Mm. Mm. Fa- Falahu falahum aslimu. Submit then your wills to him, into brackets in Islam. Mm. Uh, and give thou the good news to those who humble themselves. Mm. Uh, Aslimu, Wabashir al Wabashir al Muhbi al Muhbitina. Uh, where is this? And give the new good news to those who humble themselves. Fabashir, give the good news. Wabashir, and give after Islam, it is Wabashir, and give the good news. Al Muhbitina, to those who humble themselves. Al Muhbitina, to those who humble themselves. Themselves. Commentary 2810. Commentary 2810 or no 2810. And it is what? Against animals for food. It is against animals for food. This is the true end of sacrifice. This is the true end of sacrifice, not propitiation of higher powers, not propitiation of higher powers. Propitiation is spelled Propitiation. Propitiation of higher powers. Comma. Or is it full stop? Okay, comma. For God is one. Illahu, Illahukum Illahun Wahidun. For God is one. And he does not delight in flesh or blood. He does not delight in flesh or blood. He doesn't need flesh or blood. That's what it means. We are being referred to chapter 22, sign 37. We're yet to get there. Into brackets, chapter 22, sign 37. But a symbol of thanksgiving to God by sharing meat with fellow men. It is not God who needs, he doesn't need a flesh or blood, but it's just a symbol. Okay. The solemn pronouncement of God's name over the sacrifice is an essential part of the rite. The solemn pronouncement of God's name over the sacrifice is an essential part of the rite. And how do you pronounce God's name? Just say Allahu Akbar. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Uh, yeah, I think we finished it. Sacrifice is an essential part of the rite. Before you slaughter, you have to pronounce God's name. I don't know if our Christian brothers do it. In Islam, it's a must. Mm. You just don't get up and meow. No. Somebody created the life. And that fellow who created that life is the same fellow who created you. So if you are taking life, you have to call the name of the Creator. Okay, we go to, that was note 2810 to sign 34. That is the second note to read, 2811. It's against goodness for Bashar. It's goodness for Bashar. But the good news, i.e., the message of God, the good news, the message of God, but he will accept it. Sorry, but he will accept in us the sacrifice of self for the benefit of our fellow men. Uh, I remember our Christian brothers carry their magazines around. When you hear you say good news, they will let you know bold good news, Bashir. Mm. Okay. I think we now go to sign 35. We now go to sign 35. Allazina is a Allazina is a zukra Allahu wajillat kulubihum sorry. Allazina is a zukira Allahu wajillat kulubihum. To those whose hearts, when God is mentioned, are filled with fear, mm, are filled with fear. Wajillat kulubihum, their hearts are filled with fear. Wajillat. Wasabirina alama asabahum. And show patience and show patient perseverance over their afflictions. Ma asabahum. Swabirina, patient perseverance. Show patient perseverance. Wama asabahum, over their afflictions. Allah over ma asabahum. Uh, Wamukimu asalawata mimma razaqnahum yunfikuna. Mimma razaqnahum yunfikuna. Uh, Keep up regular prayer. Keep up regular prayer and spend in charity. In charity is in brackets, and spend in charity out of what we have bestowed upon them. Mimma razaqna hum yanfikuna. Spend, yanfikuna, spend. Of mimma, of what we have bestowed on them. Razaqna hum. Okay. Alama asabahum wal mukimu as-salawata. Yes, we've done that. And keep up regular prayer. Those who keep al-mukimi salawat, those who keep up regular prayers. Commentary 2812. Commentary 2812. It's against what we bestowed on them. Mimma razaqnahum. Some qualities of God's devotees are mentioned here, in ascending order. 1. Humility before God makes them receptive, and prepares them to listen to God, to listen to God's message. So if you are praying to God, you have to be humble. You don't start shouting, doing all kinds of things. And you have to stand straight and show that you are humble, not to anybody but to God. Mm. Well, our Christian brothers do that, but some jump up and shout and whatnot. I don't know. I don't think that is humility. You don't show humility to God by, shouting loudly and, jumping up. And like I said, not all the Christians groups. Some are humble. They come and you see the preacher humble, and the listeners also humble. All right. Uh, oh, where am I? Stood upon them. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm on the commentary. I'm on the notes. Sorry. And two, message. Listen to God's message and prepares them to listen. Okay, let me go back a bit. Humility before God makes them receptive, and prepares them to listen to God's message. Two, fear of God, which is akin to love. Fear of God, which is akin to love. We did about we did three categories of fear. If you wouldn't mind, you can go back. Mm. Fear of God, one of them being atik. Mm. Fear of God, which is akin to love, touches to love, touches their heart and penetrates through their inmost being. Then three, they are not afraid of anything in mortal life. They take their trials patiently and they go on in a course of righteousness with constancy. That's the swaberina. Constancy. It also is in the group of patience, perseverance, constancy. Semicolon. Four, their prayer now is not a matter of form, but a real communion with God with a sense of confidence, such as a faithful servant feels in the presence of a kind and loving master. Semicolon. And five, gratitude to God as shown by the practical acts of charity to all fellow creatures. I love the fifth one very much. Mm. So, when you do charity, you are doing nothing but showing gratitude to God because He has given you whatever you are doing charity with. You didn't have anything. You are giving the poor clothes or food or anything. You didn't come with any clothes. You didn't come with any food or any money. So when you are giving them, it's only a way of showing appreciation to God, or showing gratitude to God. To God, sorry. Uh, that was signed 2812 or 2812 to sign 35. Let's go to sign 36. Well, well, Budna ja'alnaha lakum. Budna, Budna ja'alnaha lakum min sha min sha'irillahi lakum fiha khayrun. Uh, the sacrificial camels we have made for you as among the signs from God. Mm. Budna ja'alna lakum, the sacrificial camels. Budna, sacrificial camels. Ja'alna lakum, we have made for you. Mm. Ja'alna halakum, we have made for you. Min sha'irillahi, from among the signs of God. Min sha'irillahi, they are among the signs of God. عليها سواء فن عليها سواء فن عليها سواء فن. uh, Signs of God. In them is much, much is in brackets. In them is much good for you. Heirun. Mm. Uh, Lakum fiha hayrun. Good. Mm. It's much good for you. Lakum for you fiha. Mm. For good. Good for you. Uh, uh, عليها سواء. أها. فاذكروا فاذكروا اسم الله عليها سواف. فاذكروا اسم الله عليها سواف. Uh, then, much good. Then pronounce the name of God over them as they line up into brackets for sacrifice. As they line up, sawafan. Line as they line up, sawafan. Sorry, sawafan line up. Iskuru Isman Lai, pronounce the name of God, Aleha, over them, Sawafun, as they line up. Mm. In them, as much, no, I'm going backward. The name of God over them, as they line up into brackets for sacrifice. Sawafun. There is commentary to that. Let's finish it because there's another commentary ahead. What does this say? فإذا 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 وجبت فإذا وجبت جنوبها فكلوا منها. فإذا وجبت جنوبها فكلوا منها. When they are down on their sides, when they are down on their sides, جنوبها on their sides, جنوبها فكلوا منها. On their sides. That's into brackets after slaughter on their side. When you slaughter and they lie down on their sides, into brackets after slaughter. Eat ye thereof. Eat ye thereof. Fakulu minha. Eat ye thereof. Fakulu minha. Wa atimu al-kani'a. Wa atimu al-kani'a. And feed such as beg not, and feed such as beg not. Those you are to feed shouldn't come begging. You shouldn't see them begging. What is it? What imu al-kani'a. Wal muhtara. Wal muhtara. Wal mu'tara. Eat ye thereof, and feed such into brackets as such as into brackets beg not. Live in contentment. Live in contentment. Well, Muhtara, live in contentment. Uh, كذلك سحر فذلك سحرناها لكم فذلك سحرناها لكم لعلكم تشكرون. Uh, thus have we made animals subject to you, saharna ha, subject to you, lakum, subject to you, kazalika saharna lakum. Thus uh, have we made animals subject to you, that ye may be grateful. La'allakum tashkurun. La'allakum tashkurun. Mm. Uh, wa it. Let's go backwards a bit. Wa at imu wa it at imu alfa ni'a wal muhtara feed. Pardon me, I say we are going backwards, so let's do. Uh, feed such as beg not into brackets and such as beg with humility. I didn't finish it. Pardon me. So feed such as those who don't beg and those who beg with humility. The animals that you slaughter. You see why I had to go back. I left that one out. So such as beg not in brackets and such as beg with humility. So when you slaughter, some people they are there, your neighbors are there, they don't beg, give to them. And those who come around begging, give to them as well. Uh, that ye may be grateful. Commentaries 2813 and 2814. 1 3 first. Mm. C note is against what? Sacrifice, as they line up for sacrifice. C note 2808 to chapter 22, this very chapter, sign 33 above. So, viewers, we can refer back. Okay, full stop. What was expressed in general terms is applied here more particularly to camels. It was a general term, but here is applied specifically or particularly to camels, the most precious and useful animals of Arabia. Camels, most precious and useful animals of Arabia. Of course, in the past and probably in the present time, semicolon, whose mode of slaughter for sacrifice is different from that of smaller animals. Of course, slaughtering a fowl doesn't need mm, much knowledge or experience or whatnot. Mm. So, but the mode of slaughter of animals is different from that of smaller animals. Colon. The special word for such sacrifice is nahar, and we are being compared to CVII2. My Roman, my knowledge in Roman numerals doesn't satisfy myself. CVII maybe 58. Pardon me if I'm wrong. Maybe 58, chapter 58, sign 2. CVII 2. Let's see if that is it. 58 sign 2. 58 sign 2. Let's see if that's it. CVII 58 sign 2. If any man among you divorce, no, no, I don't think it's 58 cents too. Anyway, let's go on. Mm. Or can it be 88? No, it's not. It's not. So please keep the Roman numerals C uh, VII. Mm. I've missed the line again. Yes, CVIII. CVIII sign 2. Mm. Here again, there is a mistake in the spelling of sacrifice, and I've noted it down. Please, again, not in the Arabic side, but the English side. There's the special word for such sacrifice, mm, but the sacrifice here is spelled wrongly. Is SCRIFICE. Mm. The A after S is missing. I fixed it there. Here it is sacrifice. It's supposed to be sacrifice. We go to the next note, 2814. 28914. It's against live in contentment and such as beg. Beg not. That's uh, those who do beg not are living in contentment. That's what it means. Such as live in contentment, and such as beg. That's where we are going now. 2814. There are ethics in begging. I love that. There are ethics in begging. There are those who, and those who even try to snatch from you. We see it when they are begging, then they point at you. Eh? These are not the ethics that we are talking of. Okay, there are ethics in begging, as in charity. Yes, both sides. Hmm? You are given. There are ethics too. In other words, you are giving somebody something. You don't just walk by him and say, "Take, throw it at him." Eh? Oh, I love this commentary. No approval is given to arrogant and insolent begging. That's what I was talking about. When they have stretched their hand, when you are begging and you are not ready, they stretch their hand. If you are not like as if they want to snatch what you have from you. Mm. No approval is given to arrogant and insolent begging, though the relief of distress of all kinds, deserved and undeserved, is included in charity. But those who beg with humility and those who receive gifts with gratitude and contentment are both mentioned for special attention. Full stop. Charity should not be given for show or to get rid of importunate demands. It should find out real needs and meet them. So you don't just give people who don't need it. They're just giving it for show. No. All right. We're going now to sign 37. I think we've been referred there earlier. So let's go there and see. Hmm? Lan lan yanala Allahu la lahumahu. Lan yanala Allahu lahumahu. It is not their meat, nor their blood that reaches God. Meat, lahu, nor blood, damme. See, let me finish it. Lan yanala Allahu lahumahu wala dima'uha. Lan yanala Allahu lahumaha. It's not lahunahu. It's lahumaha. Lahumuha. La yanala Allahu lahumuha wala dima'uha. God doesn't need the the meat nor the blood. Neither the meat nor the blood reaches God. He doesn't need them. Lan yanala Allah lahu muha wala dima'uha walakinna yanal walakinna yanalahu التقوى منكم ولكن يناله التقوى منكم. Mm. Uh, doesn't need their method. It is your piety that reaches him. Mm. It is your piety that reaches him. التقوى. ولكن يناله التقوى منكم. Your piety. التقوى منكم. Your piety that reaches him. كذلك سخرها لكم لتكبروا لتكبروا الله لتكبروا الله على ما هداكم uh, that reaches him. He has thus made them subject to you, that ye may glorify God for his guidance to you, for his guidance to you. Alama hada'akum. Mm. Uh, Saharaha, we did it before, is subject to you. Saharaha, subject to you. Litakkur, litukabiru Allah, subject to you, that ye may glorify. Mm. To kabiru, glorify. When you say Allahu Akbar, you are glorifying him. Litukabiru, litukabiru Allah ala ma hada'akum. Oh, where is it? Uh, for his guidance to you, for his guidance to you. Ala ma hada'akum. Wabashiru muhsinin. Wabashiru muhsinina. Mm. Uh, and proclaim the good news to all who do good, and proclaim the good news to all who do good. All who do good is muhsinina. Those who do good, muhsinina. Wabashiru, and Bashir here, proclaim the good news. Allah, muhsinina. Wabashiru muhsinina. Muhsinina, those who do good. Command note 2815. 2815 is against what? Guidance to you. The essence of sacrifice has been explained in note 2810 above. No one should suppose that meat or blood is acceptable to the one true God. He made them, he doesn't need them. It was a pagan fancy that God could be appeased by blood sacrifice. Full stop. But God does accept the offering of our hearts, comma, and as a symbol of such offer, some visible institution is necessary. Full stop. He has given us power over the brute creation. He has given us power over the brute creation. Brute is Brute. Over the brute creation, and permitted us to eat meat, comma, but only if we pronounce his name. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Only when we pronounce his name, in the name of God. God is great. At the solemn act of taking life, when you are taking life, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. At the solemn act of taking life. Sometimes I can talk anything. Pardon me if I'm not right there. Viewers, my knees are down, but I think that is it. At the solemn act of taking life, comma, for without a solemn invocation, we are apt to forget the sacredness of life. Life is sacred, so we should treat it as such by saying God is great. Full stop. By the invocation, we are reminded that wanton cruelty is not in our thoughts. In other words, we are not doing it for pleasure. We're just going to, no, you're not killing for pleasure. You are killing because it's necessary. It's, been, it's something associated with pleasing God. Mm. Cruelty is not in our thoughts, but only the need of food. Full stop. Now, if we further deny ourselves the greater part of the food, into brackets, some theologians fix the proportion at three quarters or two-thirds, brackets close, for the sake of our poorer brethren in solemn assembly in the prisons of the haram, into brackets, sacred territory. Haram, sacred territory, brackets close. Our symbolic act finds practical expression in benevolence, comma, and that is the virtue sought to be taught, and that is the virtue sought to be taught. Full stop. We should be grateful to God for His guidance in this matter, comma, uh, in which many peoples have gone wrong, and we should proclaim the true doctrine, comma, so that virtue and charity may increase among men. That's commentary. No, 2815 to sign 37. We now go to sign 38, which happens to be the last sign and has no note. There's no note to it. So let's go there straight. Inna Allah yudafi'u an allazina amanu. Verily, God will defend, into brackets, from ill. God will defend from ill those who believe. Allazina amanu. Inna Allah la, la yuhibbu kulle hawanin kafurin. Inna Allah kulla, la yuhibbu kulla hawanin kafurin. Verily, God loveth not any that is unfaithful and grateful. Verily, God loveth not any that is unfaithful and grateful. That's the end of Psalm 38. Also the end of section 5. When we come back, God willing, we shall go to section 6, which begins with Psalm 38. Till we meet again. Ila lakai. Thank you very much.